Looks like it. Hi, welcome back to the Starlake Observatory. My name is Trip Starlake, and I'm in my full slug form today. And talking to my friends Realm and Faye about the book Hammajang Luck by Makana Yamamoto. It is a sci-fi lesbian heist book. If you, my opening question for you too is, if you were in a heist, which like role would you want to be in?
Ooh. That's a good question.
That is, I have a very big bias towards heist
Yeah.
stories. I was a big fan of like Ocean's 11, like the original, and then the
the
early 2000s remakes. Oh man, I would think it would be funny to be like the comedic like distraction, the very like the socialite.
Oh, like the grifters. That's what they call them in this book anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like either the grifters or like the what's it called, like the quirky I don't want to say nerd, but like
Hacker?
the person the hacker. They get understand what to do, and they're kind of like in with the people, and they're like kind of speaking their own language while trying to like they could talk to you just in their own weird little way.
Realm,
Like,
can you see Trip's stream right now?
What?
Is this giving like Wishbone vibes to you, or is this just me? Like, there's this little critter that's gonna take us into this book, and we're gonna learn a lesson by the end of it. Sorry, I looked over and I was like, "Oh, this is great."
You should have like a for future trips. You should have like a gif of like a flipping book right in front of you, like you're telling us a bedtime story.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh my god!
I should have.
That is very cool. Yeah. We feel like
my human model has a book, but this one doesn't.
Like we're siblings listening to like some taken in by some god, and they'll be like, "All right, well, here's the story of the Kepler heist."
I'll wear my glasses so you can. I'm very smart and a slug.
Okay, now let's.
If I listen to my ego, I would like to think I would either be like a thief or a bruiser, like the fighter.
Yeah.
I do think people are my talent, though, unfortunately. So I might be a grifter.
Yeah. Both good options.
Yeah.
I'm very organized, so I feel like I could like not be the mastermind, but I could organize everything where people want to go.
I feel like Toto could be the mastermind.
But yeah, Toto definitely would be the mastermind. And I kind of agree with you. Like, I'm best at talking with people, even though I'm really good at Nancy Drew games. I don't think that would relate to real life for like being a thief or anything.
I could see you being the grifter, and then Realm being the hacker.
Yeah.
And then I could thieve things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. So I mean, yeah, we basically are talking about the book. So I summarized the book in like 5 points. So I guess we can go through the points and talk about the book that way. I also have like questions and stuff. First I'm going to explain, it's basically like the summary or what the back of the book says is, the book is about Edie Morikawa, who has recently released prison. She is trying to rebuild her life on the planet Kepler. I don't think it's a planet. I think it's like a really big meteorite or something like that.
Yeah,
but
I thought it was some sort of like belt that made a space station.
Yeah, that's
I thought it was a ship.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not very clear, actually, what it is. Haunted by her past and resisting pressure from her ex-lover Angel to rejoin the criminal world, she reconnects with her struggling family and tries to go straight, but finds herself blacklisted and unemployable due to the influence of corporate tycoon Joyce Atlas.
Who's trying to go straight during Pride Month? Settle down.
Like, come on.
What a pick-me behavior thing to do.
I did it pick me in my head. Like,
so
I would never do that. What?
Right. When this book came out, it had an Illumicrate special version, which they just make special versions of books. And in that, the inside cover actually had like pictures of the characters, so I was going to share those with you. And I want to know if like they look like how you think that they should look like. Because for the most part, I agree with these illustrations. But there's one I'm like, you don't look at all like what I thought you were going to look like. And I'm going to share them on screen too. I shared them in the library office. Yeah.
All right, you want to go over
library?
Like.
Yeah, we have this one has Angel, Edie, the Obake, and Sai on it. The side does. And mostly everyone looks fine here. For some reason, I just did not imagine Sai to look like that, even though I knew that he was like super cyberkinetic man. To me, he came off as like a dude that was like really buff, but like in like his whole body was buff and like an overalls kind of guy. But
yeah, I was thinking a bit more Adam Smasher from Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
like that size.
Yeah.
There's so many people. All I can think is there's too many people for this.
There were so many people in this book. So that's these 4, and then the other 4 are Sarah, Tatiana, Duke, and Nakano. Which I think they
Get Chloe? Plus size queen.
Yeah, she looks
I could never, but I would want to.
She looks great. I love her.
Precious little baby, sweet pea, would never be in trouble.
She has the side stitches in the what's it called, the pant, like
Your Honor, I'm her lawyer. She never would ever in her teeny tiny little life.
Your Honor, we're even fucking there, you know, like.
Your Honor, you don't even know.
I don't even know. I know.
I plead oopsie daisy.
But I thought it was funny that they gave us that. Which was mostly I thought that it was good, but I don't know. Sai really confused me for some reason.
You know, I'm gonna say no. I did not imagine any of these to look like how they do.
Dang.
Although I do say the design with which I think works the best compared to what I thought was, I think Duke.
Duke, yeah.
Looks great. Looks really cool.
Yeah, he's kind of tiny on my screen. How do I make you bigger? I just can't. Okay, well, whatever. Heck me. It's fine. Goodbye. Goodbye, photos.
We're just chilling. It's all good.
I think so, and I want to be clear. Most of my like knowledge comes from like leverage.
Yeah.
So using those, first of all, too many people. This seems too big.
Yeah,
Too much room for mistakes. But
yeah.
Regardless of that, the mastermind looks like a mastermind. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, mildly put together woman, or person, mildly put together person. The hitter looks like a hitter. I do think it's weird that there's only one hitter with this team so fucking big. However, more often than not, the thief or the grifter can also fight.
Yeah.
So, and the acrobat can obviously fight. The hacker's cute. She's got, or they, I'm sorry, they. What are their pronouns? Does it matter? Do we know?
I think
it matters, but do we know? We're gonna go with them.
I don't remember.
They have like the whole quirky, the vest thing going on. Like their hair is very funky, so that makes sense. That's a very hacker vibe.
Yeah.
What's a runner supposed to do that a thief and an acrobat can't do?
Well, that was the whole thing. Like, Edie is a thief, but because she was in prison for 8 years, like, she couldn't be trusted to do the thieving work or something. So they got a different thief.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird.
What does Edie do as a runner?
She found the escape route.
Like, they have the know-with-all. They have street level.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
Yeah.
So just like logistics, like local logistics.
Yeah,
she
went through all those underground tunnels and found an escape route, which made it seem like we were on like a satellite and not a planet. But
okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the scene where they were in the duct and they had to worry about like the
air.
What's it called? The pressurized air chamber for the sector.
Yeah. That happens twice actually. You didn't get to it, but it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like, fated with growing desperation, Edie's niece has an illness. Edie then has, like, basically no choice but to reluctantly agree to join a high-stakes heist orchestrated by Angel, alongside a diverse crew, which I just showed on screen. She has, like, her old friend, Sai, who's the hitter. There's the new thief, Tatiana. There's the Obake, who's, like, a 15-year-old girl. 2 lesbian grifters and like a ex-gymnast who's the acrobat. So they are all prepared to steal a powerful prototype from Atlas Industries, each motivated by love, debt, and survival, is what I wrote, but I guess that's true.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I was excited to read this book because it was a heist book, right? And I was like, ooh, heists. But it's more the story is like kind of more of a character study between Edie and like her decision, or their decision between like going straight and not going straight, and like the influence and power and greed within the capitalist system, like I don't know, the inevitability of fate and the struggle for free will, I guess, if we're gonna go far into it. Or like the burden of your past also catching up between like Angel and Edie being like really toxic lesbians with each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was my takeaway. I don't know. If you have any differing opinions, that's totally cool.
Yeah. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's because I have a very well, actually, I can get to those opinions later, but it did not. It tried to be a heist story, but I think the elements that the book was trying to use to establish, like, the favorability of the characters, what they want to progress towards, I think that sunk itself so far, it kind of lost the plot.
Yeah.
It felt like when at one point I thought it was like Vin Diesel from like, you know, Fast and Furious. Like all they're talking about is family.
They were talking about like a lot of Ohana means family. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. This like planet that is created is like clearly immigrants that came from Hawaii or other Pacific islands, because they all speak in English Pidgin, which is like it's just like a dialect of English that they mainly only speak in Hawaiian, or on Hawaii, sorry. Which I didn't mind, but that's because I lived in Hawaii for like a year, so I kind of actually was like, oh yeah, that's what that means. But how did you feel about that? Because sometimes they were like true just talking in Pidgin.
It was just a plot. It was just a plot device. It was just a characteristic. It was just a characteristic. It made itself with the influence.
Yeah.
But it did not.
I think
I'll be honest.
So that's the shtick. Instead of it being like in a European setting, or it's based off of space. Okay, that's cool. Oh, they also are. They have like Pacific Islander like heritage and ideas, and like, you know, that helps with the family thing. But again, like it wasn't that deep.
I saw it, tried to Google it, and moved on with my life.
Yeah, it's fine. Because honestly, for a lot of things, it's like you can basically surmise what they mean by the words.
It wasn't hard to use like details to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, that's true. And so I guess it's not really a plot device so much as it is just like it's a setting device almost. Just to like make it, because I feel for this author like they wanted to make something feel like they're like where they grew up, but also make something very futuristic, and the way to do that is to have people talk like people that she grew up around.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, a lot of the reviews that didn't like this book were just mad about it being in Pidgin, but it didn't really bother me.
It's not that deep.
It's like, it's fine. It's really fine. Sai doesn't even talk that much, and he's the only one that speaks in like full Pidgin.
Which was a good character like trait for him. I thought it was fun that like you had a character that, and it was kind of like, it made sense to me, putting myself like quote unquote in the story, that I wouldn't be able to understand what these people were saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like as a white American, I'm kind of just accustomed to other people talking in different languages around me, and I'm just good minding my business and not worrying about it.
That's fair. I am also of that mind. Honestly. Like
the only time it irritates me is when they go, haha, you don't know what we're saying, do you? And it's like, all right, well, you're right, but also rude.
Yeah. Yeah. I hadn't heard some of these terms in a long time, though, like howly for white person. I heard that one a lot.
That makes sense. I'm sure you did.
But yeah. So like, so most of this book is like, the crew gets all together. They all get like, everyone is like instantly in on this heist. No one particularly needs to be convinced except for Edie, and she is even quite fast to being like convinced to be part of this plot. Which was fine. Some of the characters, like Sarah, the acrobat gymnast girl, was like a little bit too just excited, like gung-ho, in my opinion. But I think also this book was only allotted like 350 pages, so you have to get what character you can for such a big cast, if you want such a big cast. The crew's camaraderie grows as they confront their internal tensions, emotional baggage, especially Edie, who is torn between her loyalty to her family and her unresolved feelings for Angel. And the complexity of the plan is matched by the intensity of their personal... I didn't actually write that part. Somebody else did. I don't know if that's true. The complexity of their plan is matched by the intensity of their personal stakes is not. I think, like, the personal stakes are high because, like, Edie can't decide whether she actually wants to go through with such a thing. While feeling like she has no choice because, like, her niece is dying of cancer and they need money really bad and there's no good way to get money. Because they only run like a fix-it shop or something like that. The younger child took a vow of silence, but then I don't know, just because he wanted people to be happy, something like that. I don't know. And Angel herself is just kind of a bitch all the time to Edie, which doesn't make Edie want to hang out with her anymore. In my opinion, she was.
You don't get to put me in jail for whatever reason you had, and then be a bitch to me.
Yeah, like, shouldn't you be nicer to her?
I have exactly one boundary. That's it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I think this book is actually one of the comps for this book is Ocean's 11 meets Gideon the Ninth, and I'm like, I don't think so. And
it was more like Leverage.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, right? Because I know Realms read that book. Like, I get it. You're trying to tell me that they're toxic lesbians. Gideon and Harrow are different, okay? It's different. They're more toxic in scarier ways.
You know, it was far more leveragey, which I loved. I was a big fan of that. Like,
yeah,
I like all the quirky little characters doing their quirky little character thing, and everything secretly works out just because plot.
Yeah.
I like that.
I didn't mind
like
that
that's like
just kind of worked out.
Yeah.
I think I didn't like that it felt like the author just like believed that everything, all of like their channels were super secure. Like, it bugged me when they would just be like, they wouldn't use code names or anything over the channels. I was like, what if somebody's listening to you, not over like the comms, but just listening to you?
But the whole idea is, why would anybody be listening to them? Why would anybody even know? Why would anybody think to know they were there doing the thing?
I guess that's true.
Which is like leverage logic, which is why I liked this so much, because I was like, yeah, it's Robin Hood. We're just doing silly shit. We're gonna get away with it.
Yeah.
It was very like hot soup while sick on a day that I was supposed to be at school.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally get that.
Like, I get to be wrapped up consuming media that I know is gonna be fun.
Right.
And it doesn't really matter that it doesn't make sense. The more I think about it, the more of a headache I get. It's better to not. Let's just keep going.
I think also, actually, something that could have basically alleviated most of my, like, confusion with the story is just telling me, or, like, making it more clear to me what Joyce Atlas actually has done to people, because it was kind of vague for most of the story.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it, he's basically Elon Musk and Trump combined or whatever, but like
like, cool, he's a rich bad guy, but like, how?
Yeah, but like, how is he evil?
Like, make me hate him.
Yeah, I didn't hate him as much as I could. I mean, his language was terrible every time he opened his mouth, but like, I don't know. I also could not.
Yeah, but like, we also go outside.
That's true.
We hear shit like that all the time. So
I hear
it's like,
people
and then
say horrible things often. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I think that's the problem I have, is like, you're trying to like make me clutch my little liberal pearls, but I don't care. I hear this stuff all the time.
I know. I couldn't, like, I don't know if either of you have seen Miraculous Ladybug, but I could not like stop imagining Joyce Atlas as looking like Adrian's father, like in the white suit.
Fair.
I
Yeah. I got that impression as well.
I don't know why.
Because that's just a good, like, high society bad guy.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I I mean, I recently saw Mickey 17, and I was thinking of um Joy as like the counterpart to I forgot what his name.
What, Goofy? Like, who the fuck are you talking about?
No, Joy was
It was a joke, I swear.
I got it.
Oh no, I'm trying to
Thank you.
think of the. I'm having
Realm's
trouble
doing the
thinking.
Toto thing where he's purposely not getting my joke just to make me look like a dick.
No,
He's
no, like
thinking.
that.
No, he's thinking. It's just funnier to be the victim when he can't defend
I know.
himself.
Alright, it's going back in my head again. That's fine. No, I just thought like a clean jumpsuit, like bob hair, you know, like but looks super tired, super dirty. But like everyone appeals to them as being like a super nice, or what's it called, like a god.
Yeah.
Almost.
Okay.
No matter what, like you can. It's funny. You get the perspective as the viewer. You just be like, seriously, everyone wants this dude. Like, really? And he just looks like very good at being creepy.
Yeah.
In a sense, because you're just like,
Like a lot of millionaires.
no one by today's standards would think that's okay. But
Right.
It is a satire on some other individuals, so that's like it makes sense.
Right.
That part did a good job.
Just before the heist, like the relationship or not relationship with Angel and Edie kind of like comes to like a literal climax. And then they just like cut each other off immediately. I don't know, like what did we think of this relationship between the two of them?
Angel didn't grovel nearly enough for me.
I know,
like
yeah.
the entire time everybody's like family,
Yeah,
but then like let Angel get away with literal murder. Like,
yeah,
Angel fucking sucked.
Yeah, you're right, she needed more groveling, and then I would have maybe forgiven her a little bit, but
yeah, I don't care about Edie. I needed to forgive her.
Yeah, I was like, Edie, girl, or sorry, they, them, person.
You're really being a thimbo right now.
Thimbo. You need to leave. Leave Angel behind. Now, I know that a lot of, like, I guess that, like, it was like, do I pick Angel or do I pick my sister and family? But, like, she didn't have to pick either in the end, which is, like, I kind of figured that's how the book would end.
How was that even a question?
Right, because the Secret Service agent is like, give us the files on Atlas, and we'll make it so you won't go to jail, or whatever. And it's like, oh, we'll prevent your niece from getting gene therapy for her cancer. But that, or something like that, something regarding the family. But that didn't even come to pass. It didn't matter. Ultimately. And even though it's like Edie is like confused, but it doesn't, are not I don't know, confused enough. And they go forward with the heist. Like, they're really nervous on the heist, but it's fine. The heist succeeds, but not without sacrifice. The team retrieves the thing, like the prototype thing they were trying to find. But there is, like, kind of betrayal. Like, so this whole time, Angel has been working for Atlas as, like, their head bodyguard, security head person. And they, like, fire. Like, the day the heist goes on, Atlas fires Angel, and then, like, they have to scramble and literally scramble a 16-year-old's head because she has, like, neuromancer brain chips where she can use the internet in her brain. And
oh yeah,
she does.
I know, it was funny.
And
wait, do we know this person that they scrambled?
It's the hacker girl.
Oh, really?
Malia. Yeah, she chooses to do that. Like, she chooses to overdrive her, overclock. That's the computer word. Overclock her brain, so she can, like, unlock, figure out whatever the codes are to get the prototype thing. Because they can't in the end. Do it because Angel's codes were taken away.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the final act of devotion, after everybody gets away from everything, or actually before that, like, they're all running away through the air tunnels. Edie thinks she's gonna die, or they are going to die because they, like, get, caught in an airlock, basically, and the airlock shuts, because they were trying to save everybody else, and, like, has, like, a sad little, like, Angel's like, oh, I loved you, I'm so sorry, and Edie's like, okay, I'm gonna die. But it's okay, because the Obake opens up the vault at the last minute, and everyone is safe, and there's like, yay, family, Ohana forever. But
the fact that Edie's proverbial like fake last words weren't "eat shit" will just always sadden me.
No, Edie really should have said "eat shit." Angel.
Eat dick and die, like.
Eat dick and die.
Like you like, cause like a lot of Edie's issues could have been avoided if Angel just wasn't shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
Because Edie was definitely one of those characters that was always like, I want to get out of this life. And like, cool, fine. And maybe now they can. And then jail.
Insta jail. But it's okay to keep the I don't know, the feds off of the rest of the crew's back. Angel turns herself in to...
As she should have.
Yeah. Ensure freedom. Except she only has to go into jail for 36 months, not 8 years. So, oh well, whatever, I guess. Edie is emotionally shaken and forever changed, but I think everyone else is too. So 3 years later, Angel's released and the crew reunites. This is like the epilogue. Edie has found peace and purpose. They're on HRT and I don't know. They're just on HRT. It doesn't say anything other than that. Their journey isn't about redemption or riches. It was about reclaiming connection to family and love. And Angel's return marks they literally go to the jail and they're like, oh my god, Angel, you're back. And they have like a whole party with the whole found family, and at the end. Basically. Your reaction, Ralph, is amazing.
God fucking damn it. Like, dude.
I'm just mad at Angel.
Angel does suck.
Like, Angel should have had to finish Edie's time.
I mean, she kind of did, because I think
You
Edie
should've
only
doubled
had
and
2
give it to
years
the next
left.
person.
Oh, you're right. I don't know what 36 months is.
It could have been like 3 years tacked on to the 2 years. Extra 3 years or whatever. I don't know.
That would have been spicy.
5 years instead. Yeah. I can do math.
I can't.
But yeah, that's the book. Yeah, because I was like, I don't want to go chapter by chapter in this book. Like, it's cool. I guess so that's that. So I would like to ask, we've been bitching about Angel for a while. Who was your favorite character? It's like a change of pace. If you had one, even.
Jokingly, I'm gonna say the kid who had to take the vow because they didn't say much, but they did their job fantastically.
That's true. They did their job. They served their purpose in the story.
Yeah. It's tough.
I don't like every character, but because I was just mad at Angel the whole time.
That's true. It's really difficult to pay attention to
Like
anyone.
it really didn't matter what any other character did that from that point on. Where I was just like, why are you being mean for free all the time when you were in the wrong?
Yeah. It's true. I don't know if I have a favorite character either. I liked they kept mentioning like this dragon TV show. I kind of want to know what was going on in that dragon TV show. That's kind of
that's something that like I also felt that, because I was like, why am I more interested in this this fake TV show?
I know.
Than the actual story that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I read this book instead of listening to it, and I'd say it was readable, but there was no point where I was like, I want to read the next chapter. And I don't even think that it was like super predictable. It was kind of like, what mean thing is Angel gonna say now? Or like, what, like, I liked that they had like some typical heist stuff, like they went to the bar and got credentials off of a skeezy guy, and they went and played poker and got a lot of money. I guess I wanted slightly more of that because it would have fleshed out the characters a little better, and I wouldn't feel like there's way too many people in this heist group. So I don't even think I have a favorite character. My favorite character is the baby that's born. Because they have 0 lines. No, they have like 1 line.
I think so the biggest issue, what I wish for this series or this one book is if it was, and I'm sure once I say it, Realm will agree, if it were a webtoon or like a webcomic, because then we could have like a bunch of different stories combining into one story, and then we can have multiple, like, it could be like little episodic bad guy of the week, like we steal from this guy and it leads up to this, which would have made Angel's, turn back a little more, or turn coat a little more, and not like, yeah, fucking of course she did. It would have fleshed out some backstory. We could have gotten characters interacting more, or showing where, in situations where their finesse is just the best. Like, this is the thing, this is the role this person encompasses. Like,
right.
I think I would have preferred to see it than to have read about it.
Right, because there are a lot of expositions in the beginning and perhaps in the middle of manhwa or webtoons that describe either the type of situation, the type of character, what they need to work on, and what new concepts you need to understand. And honestly, everyone said a lot of nothing a lot of the time. It would have probably been better if people were just shown.
That's fair.
And not told.
That's actually fair. I feel like
of that.
As much as I liked Nakano as a character, I thought that like everything that she said was just like BS, because it was literally just BSing Atlas into getting like him to like her. And it was like, I don't need any of these details, honestly, about what like technology that she's BSing.
But if you got to see it and it made sense, it would
be different. Yeah,
you would be a little more invested.
Yeah,
I really do think if this was like some sort of webtoon or graphic novel, I think I'd like it more. And then you could pack more in to quote unquote less. Yeah, it'd be good long form graphic novel.
That actually like leads into the next question I had. I think if it was a webtoon or like comic or anything like that, it would make more sense to me that this was a sci-fi novel. Because a lot of the things that happen, it doesn't matter that it's a sci-fi novel.
Yeah.
But it, like, seeing the setting, seeing like the cyberpunk like setting, it's just like, oh, that's just the setting of a comic. Like, that makes more sense to me than.
Well, so I think the bigger issue I have here, and I know I've been leaning on Leverage here as a crush, and I'm gonna do it again. So in Leverage, by the end of the episode, the bad guy either knows exactly who fucked him over, but doesn't really know who they actually are.
Yeah.
Or they don't know who fucked them over, and the team could go anywhere. Even if, like, in both situations, the team has the entire world to run away to, like, you're not gonna find somebody realistically like that. But if you're on a spaceship or a meteor or fuck ever, there's only so far you can go.
Right.
And I kind of wish they would have struggled against that. Yeah, sure, we can pull off this heist. And then what, dude?
Yeah,
where are we supposed to go?
Yeah.
Which I can see why you would want to turn off your brain a bit because that's what I was stuck on. I was stuck on thinking about the logistics, like why are they talking so goddamn loud about wanting to steal from Atlas? They literally every other name they talk about is Atlas, and they're like, is this not a high technological state? Like, do they not have surveillance?
Yeah, can they not like hear the boss's name getting pinged every other fucking second?
Yeah, that was a little. I think it's because Malia, the hacker, was like preventing everything, and it was like just don't worry about it type of situation.
I would have liked to see that as like maybe like an Oracle situation to Batman.
Yeah, or like like if it was like a webcomic, you could see like off into the corner, you could see Malia pushing the cameras away and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Add a little bit of depth to the story, because like honestly, I don't think this isn't the worst story I've ever read. It just was missing some stuff.
I really liked it. It just was. It could have been more, and I think if we change the medium a little bit, it could be more beloved.
Yeah. I don't even hate toxic lesbians. I just think that, like, man, Angel really sucked, though. And didn't redeem
Yeah, if
herself
Angel had,
enough.
like, a redeeming quality.
Yeah.
Other than giving herself up.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's not the same thing.
It's revealed that, at some point, that, the reason Edie couldn't get a job anywhere is because Angel put them on the blacklist. And so that was kind of like the final straw. It's like, if I were to find that out, I'd be like, nah, I'm done.
Oh my god, yeah. No, I could never.
Bye.
I did not know that, and goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fucked up.
That's a bitch move.
Yeah. And at that point, I would have been like, okay, I'll get the files and give them over to the FBI or whatever. That's fine. Whatever, bye.
Like, see, I just can't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't figure out what would have made Angel
I guess she
redeemable.
was really hot. Like, I don't know.
There is no way you can be so hot that I forgive every amount of you taking away any chance I have of moving forward.
Yeah.
That's like dark romance billionaire bullshit where he's just the worst guy ever, but she just keeps going back. Like, ma'am,
it's
get a backbone. You can afford one.
Like,
you
that's
divorced
just, like,
him.
Borderline evil manipulation, if not just evil manipulation.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, Angel. I don't know.
I turn an Angel for a cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, one slightly stale corn chip.
Yeah, like maybe like a head
small
pat.
Bag on a plane, you know, that got opened already, got crushed in half.
Damn.
I think she's gonna be at least 3 planets over to make this even like semi-fair.
I mean, at least this book evoked like an emotional response, even if it's not a positive one.
I do feel that. I feel like we go on a hate tirade about every book you give us, and it's not even hate. It's just like this one character sucked, and then like none of her qualities were so redeeming that it mattered.
That it mattered, yeah.
And she didn't do anything that I feel nobody, well, other than having that job, but like somebody else could have gone and gotten a job. Fuck it, like.
Right. Right. Yeah. And it's kind of, I don't know. And so, actually, I don't know if you knew this. This was a debut novel, and so it's like, yeah, okay, this reads as a debut novel. But like, I don't know. They could learn from this. Make a character.
I definitely don't think they should have been capped out at the amount of pages they were capped out at. They should be given more.
Yeah, I really actually, most of the time I think stories should be shorter. This time I actually think it should have been longer. Like, let me understand, like, feel why I should care about all of these characters, because like even though I think that we got a pretty good idea of who Sai was and who like Duke and Nakano were, I really don't feel like we've got enough of Tatiana and Sarah.
Yeah, no idea.
And like little 16-year-old girl was like, she was running the whole shebang, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to care about the other two characters. They just weren't as needed for the plot.
Yeah.
So.
Which kind of like makes me wonder why the hell they were really
why were they
there
anyway?
Then.
They could have been combined into one character, honestly.
See, that's what I'm thinking is why was the thief and the acrobat two different people?
I don't know.
That could have been the same person.
I don't know. The author has a gymnast friend and wanted to insert them, and I don't know.
The grifters were fine if they're two different kinds of grifters. If they're the same grifter, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
I mean, they worked well as a team because it was like bad cop, good cop type of thing. So,
yeah. I mean, that's fine. I don't mind them. Like, I don't mind two grifters on the same team. That often works better for information than anything else. But it's just like.
But they also had Edie doing grifting too, so it's like I don't know.
So then you have three grifters.
You know, Edie kind of did everything.
So Edie had the knowledge, the wherewithal, the know-how to be essentially almost every part like every position on the team. But then Angel was just like, yeah, stop arguing with me. I'm in charge.
Okay, here we go.
Why
Let
do I
me
bother?
fix
I'm in
this.
charge.
She wanted control.
We combine the acrobat and the thief. All right, that's now one character.
Yeah.
Let's take one of the grifters, combine that grifter with Edie.
Yeah.
All right. Then there's a love triangle between Angel, Edie, and whatever remaining grifter we pick. Cute. We love that. That's always fun. Some tension.
Sure.
And then Angel does the turncoat thing. We 86 her. Edie becomes the mastermind. We still have our grifter. We still have our hacker. We still have our thief, and we still have our hitter.
Yeah.
Fixed it.
No, that works. And actually, Sai works as the character that he was. So
you could even have Sai move up to mastermind. That's
True.
fine too. Like Edie could take over hitter, or somebody else could take over hitter. You could take that extra grifter and turn him over into hitter.
Yeah, it's true.
Like that's fine.
Yeah, and I guess one thing, because I think that this is one thing that we haven't even mentioned, because it's very normalized in this world, like gender and gender expression is, but like everybody on this team is like gay, lesbian, trans in some form. So it is just
that's fine.
It's very it's totally fine, but it like that it was like really trying to drill home like the family is what you make it and not like who you're born into necessarily.
That's fine, but we have a bunch of half-ass characters.
Yeah, that was the issue.
Yeah,
which is not. I'm not. I want to be clear. I'm not shitting on the author, not Arthur. I'm not shitting on the author about this. Like the author clearly had a vision.
Yeah.
And like if this was book 1, I get it.
That's true. If there was more stories.
Yeah.
More plot.
And they have really good, like, everybody has a solid character design. It's not like anybody's character design's half-assed. I would just like to know more about that. I want to care more.
Yeah. Yeah, or I didn't want it to be so much of a heist. I want it to be like a character study where Edie is really struggling. Like, we can see them truly struggling with, like, I want to go and do this, like, what is it, this gig, because it'll give me 125 million monies.
Yeah.
Or I really want to go straight because my family means everything to me, and Angel is not my family anymore. But it kind of wasn't. Like, yeah. I don't think that Edie struggled that much with it, honestly.
That's the thing I was really like honing on when everybody look. And I understand like circumstances can be difficult, and you can address them like this in the story, but I do not think contextually this sort of like circumstances were enough for a heist book of this. You know, everybody for the most part had wants.
Yeah.
They did not have needs.
That's true.
You're getting yourself into all of this, like there's the backstory, awesome. But would you want? Oh, I want money.
I mean, I'm very pro eat the rich, but
But when the plot of Eat the Rich subverts anything else of like a heist movie, like it's a message, not a plot.
Yeah.
All I hear is you yelling at me, bro. Eat the rich.
Yeah.
Fuck capitalist society, dude. What else is there? I'm reading your book to read a story.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a drop of.
I'm filled with a very and then.
Yeah, and then.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the end of the book was kind of like, and then everybody clapped.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, fine, but like,
I actually just think this would have. I was actually worried going into this because usually by like rating you can see what people thought of it generally, and I was like, and I think if Angel got her retribution and like was in prison and everyone was happy with that, people would be happy with this ending of this book. Or if Angel had more of a redemption arc, I think that would have fixed it too, without rearranging the crew. Even though I think that's a good idea as well.
I mean, I like the crew as is. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like hating on the crew. I just also, because I feel like we got no time with. We got time with Sai, a little bit of time with Sai. Sai didn't really say much, but we got some time with Sai. Obake, Edie, Angel, fine. Everyone else, there's a whole 4 other people that I kind of don't
Yeah.
Remember.
Yeah.
I love their character designs. I love what they do. I'd like to see them interact more. I wanted more for them.
And we've hardly even like talked about Andy. Even mentioned her really. Because she was so much of like a just like a trope, kind of like, I am the sister that doesn't want you to get in trouble anymore and cares a lot about you, and that was like her whole character.
But that's cute, because usually the trope is the person gets out of jail and their remaining family members like, fine, I'll stay here, you can stay here, but like you're sleeping on the couch, you have to wear an ankle monitor, I'm gonna take your blood every other hour.
Right. It was very cute that they were like, that the whole family was just happy that Edie was back. But
yeah, I liked that a lot. I thought that was very cute.
Yeah.
There wasn't any like judgment or anything. It was just, thank God you're home. Here's a bed. Here's a hot meal. Let me hug you.
I was surprised that Edie still had like a whole bedroom, but like, good for them. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's sort of unfortunate because like I think we're all actually getting at that, like we can see the vision, but it didn't quite land in this book.
Yeah, I did like it. Like I said, like honestly, it was and it kind of did the thing that I usually do in books that, you know, doesn't really work towards what we do here in book club, where I'm just like, wee!
Yay, book. It's true. If I was reading this just on my own, I'd be like, that was nice, and then put it down and never think about it again. But because I like took like extensive notes, I got very critical.
No, yeah. I mean, as you should.
Yeah. Yeah. I even gave it a 4-star in Goodreads because, like, why not? Whatever. It wasn't that bad.
Everyone on Goodreads seemed to like. I watched a few reviews just to make sure I didn't like miss anything. First of all the like no review was longer than 10 minutes really. Even the ones that said
read this yet.
Yeah. There was one like it was a written report that I read that was pretty good. I don't remember where I got it from though. But yeah, I mean, like overall, it was pretty beloved. Everyone was pretty happy to just let it be who it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I think, well, one, I really feel like I can't shit on this book too much because, like, Pacific Islander authors, like, just don't get published in mainstream publishing ever. So the fact that we got one out here is like, yay.
No, yeah, I really liked it. There was a lot of promise, and I think promise matters more in this sense than what we got.
Yeah. It's true. And I think I liked it more than, well, I don't know. I think that book was fine, too. The other Pacific Islander author we read was Dragon Fruit. But that book made me angry for completely different reasons.
Yeah, that one was different.
Yeah, I don't think I thought of that one highly either. I'm trying to think.
Nobody had any consequences for their actions, and it made me angry.
All I remember was just fucking pirates, childhood friends, betrayal, and I am just the plot device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, do I have any other questions? I don't know. This one question, what was the most challenging part of the book? It was obviously Angel. Like,
what was the most challenging?
Yeah, challenging part of the book to read.
Probably just reading it.
Just reading it.
Damn.
Yeah, I know you guys were. I'm thinking about like the opinions of like having the book be a book for the sake of it, like for its stance and what it can represent.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps that's something that comes with being a more accustomed reader, something more like affluent and how things come to be in terms of books.
That's
but for
fair.
someone who doesn't read as much, I just read a book and go, all right, well, this is what I thought.
No, that's fine.
I passed judgment because I had to read the book.
See, I often don't even give an opinion. I just read a book, and move on with my little life. I'm rarely asked my opinion other than this instance right here.
Yeah. I do always think about books for way too long, but I don't know. It's one of those books where I didn't have. It's like it's just okay, but then I'm gonna read something worse, and I'm like, well, at least this book wasn't that bad. In retrospect, I think.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to put it.
It was like I said, like I've said the entire time, it's giving me Leverage vibes. I love Leverage. Like, I'm not mad at it. It was what it was. I just think that there was a better way to go about it, and they really missed some character development by having such a big team.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the only other question I had, I think we kind of like beaten to the ground. Like, I felt like talking about like the influence and power that Joyce Atlas had, versus like the enduring human spirit through family and connection. I feel like that was like sort of pitted against each other, but it wasn't strong enough. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if this book even had like 50 more pages, it would have been, I would have felt the connection better between the team.
So I'm curious, just because Faye gave a thought that, you know, of like, for example, like fixing the crew.
Yeah.
You know, like what aspects of it could have been improved to like get you a little bit more invested. What do you think could have been done in like those 50 pages? Do you think there could have been like a side story, more conversations, more plot to the antagonist, more ideas to like figure out what to do afterward, or life on the
I don't think
Kepler,
like
you know?
anything extra. Well, maybe a couple extra scenes with the plot could be, but like say for the scene that they were at like the charity casino thing, there could have been more just like little instances where the characters were talking to each other about their actual lives. Like, or there was like that one scene where Sai was teaching the younger members of the team how to like defend themselves against someone. That could have been like an extended scene and people talking about like their past a little bit. Just some
that could have even fixed.
Yeah.
That could even fix Rem your want for them having needs.
That's I would have
in
known.
50 pages,
Yeah.
And in those conversations, we could have found out. Yeah, sure. I say I want money. What I'm searching for is to make sure nobody else can ever have power over me ever again. I'm fully independent.
Yeah.
That's what money would give me.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of Sarah especially with this, cause the acrobat girl, because she was working at like a strip club because she was out, like basically removed from her gymnast position after whistleblowing on somebody that was like touching people inappropriately or whatever. And like I feel like we could have talked more than just like giving like the bare bones facts about Sarah's life. We could have like actually gotten into it, like how it affected her emotionally, like how she tried to continue on being a gymnast at like on a different planet or a different like gym, and like how she was found out she was blacklisted and it ruined her life, things like that. Because otherwise, Sarah's just there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It would have meant it would be like, okay, she actually feels like part of the team. Or talking to Tatiana about like how she just goes from team to team, being the thief and doesn't actually trust anyone. And why is that? Why is she such a snot-nosed brat? Clearly, there's a reason there. We just don't find out why.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even like getting a little bit more information on Sai, like I think Sai like serves their purpose really well, but that could have been alleviated just in Edie's memories, because they had rolled together before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like that's enough. Like 50 pages is enough to alleviate that. It doesn't even need to be 50 pages. It could have been like 30 or 40, honestly. But yeah. Just a little bit more. Give me a little bit more meat, because otherwise it's like I'm eating like a no fat dish. I don't know.
Right. I think it could have been like if you had taken the same restrictions and perhaps taken out the or like the wants and the accumulating like crew members, and then replace that with, oh, most of them were part of the old crew. We have something to redeem ourselves by actually finishing this one last job.
Yeah.
And then put in something afterwards of like the needs, and then like something post, like you look like fucking Fast and Furious. You saw them all hanging out like
Yeah.
You know,
Like they actually
like
hung out.
in the backyard. They're like, oh, what we gonna do now? Like, oh, this like Ludacris had some dream of living in, like I don't even know where of from one of the videos from forever, but like living out somewhere, and then you have like the family set up, and then you have like we want to start a family, and like make this a crew that it was, like I think they just wasted a lot of time trying to establish a lot of characters. Like I think there were like maybe 7 or 8
Yeah, there's like 8 people on the team.
Yeah.
well, not even the main characters, the side characters that we talked
like
to,
Andy.
the old uncle, the father, the auntie, the like
That's true.
bits and
Well,
pieces
that's
were
why
like
I was
one-liners.
thinking. I was like, is this a character study on Edie's life, or is this a heist book? And it didn't. It kind of was a bad mash of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one or the other would have been sufficient.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I mean, even then, I didn't have a bad time with it. It just could have been.
No, yeah, I liked it a lot.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to steamroll you. I was agreeing with what you're saying. Well, I'm sorry.
Well, no, I'm good with what I said. Do you? Well, considering you guys were able to finish up the book its entirety, do you feel like it warranted a second book?
No.
Perhaps something in the same universe.
Maybe like a prequel.
Yeah. I could see a prequel or a book in the same universe. Yeah, but like the epilogue pretty much ties it up all really well. Like it briefly explains what all the characters are doing. Now that they have $1 billion.
Yeah.
And they're all like, everybody's clean now.
It would be cool, actually. So if we stuck with the same characters and we get a prequel book and it's maybe like the majority of it is a story between Angel and Edie of like what happened, but like then we get blips of like, oh, a radio or TV station, this gymnast is whistleblowing about yada yada yada, and then like we get that peak of like, oh hey, there's that character.
Yeah.
Throughout the story, where we get to see the other characters living their lives in the background, and we get like a fun little flash of we'll see them again.
Right.
That could have been fun, or like a short story, like a book of short stories about all the characters prior to these moments. That could have been fun.
I could see that. I think, honestly, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like a webtoon adaptation would be perfect. Honestly,
yeah,
it's like the best option, I think, for the series. Yeah, just view it through a different lens, I think would help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because like especially it would have garnered the better use of all like the side characters. To me, in my imagination, I'm just imagining them guiding your hand, so they're kind of like floating in the information to you.
Yeah.
And going top down style, it works because you're just like, oh, okay, so what do you mean do, and then like, oh, there's like, here's the system how it works, and like, the gentrification of Edie's neighborhood that used to be like everyone's mom and pop shop could have been brought down to the case of like a big grand city with like some eerie undertones. I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah.
Considering I'm not the biggest fan of Cyberpunk, but it's a very popular genre.
It is.
And a lot of people just love the glitz, the glamour, even if it's gritty,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was my main complaint, and I don't think I would have this complaint if I hadn't read Neuromancer, like, literally a month ago. Like, this book was, like, I'm cyberpunky and super sci-fi, but then had none of, like, the grit that, like, cyberpunk sci-fi generally has. And I guess it doesn't need that, but it kind of was to the point where it kind of like how I felt about Legends and Lattes, like this could have just taken place on Earth with humans and it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
It would have been the same story, except for like the sword fighting and whatever, but it's okay. It's cozy sci-fi kinda, but it's a heist. It's cozy.
Legends and Lattes would have been cute if it were told as a LARPing story.
Oh my god.
And then at the end you find out that was the LARP. So then you get all of your medieval fluff and your orcs and whatever, and then you tie it back into something mundane.
You're genius. You should write that story.
I will not.
Let
Thank
me
you, though.
actually. I'm curious. Why? It's not as if it can't be done, or it shouldn't be done. But I generally I don't look for comfy cozy in a heist. What about that do you enjoy? Like I like just
Oh, I don't.
not
I
not
mean,
not like subjective. Just what do you like? What was nice about a cozy heist story?
it's hard. I mean, it's cozy in the sense that you get the feeling the entire time that it's not going to have a bad ending. A lot of heist stories in books, anyway, often have very not unhappy endings, or at least someone dies, but no one died. So I don't. I don't know. I think it's kind of it's more of a
Robin
publishing
Hood.
issue than anything. But yeah, it's Robin Hood. Yeah, it's more of a Robin Hood like thing. Like we're doing it because fuck millionaires, not because of we're weighted by our past. Like it's not as focused on a huge reason why. It's more like the action for the action. At least the heist half of the book was, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I liked. First of all, I love a good heist. I love when a plan comes together. I love, characters who wouldn't normally get along, covering each other's blind spots, and you get to play witness to a bunch of different characters interacting and interlocking and becoming a team. And I love a good becoming a team story.
Yeah.
And then it's just better when it works out in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Not because every story needs to work out, but when reading a story like this, you don't want your space lesbians to die.
Yeah, that's true.
It would have.
There's enough.
I was worried.
Gays trope. We don't need that. Yeah, we don't need that.
There was enough characters where I was a little bit worried.
Yeah.
That they were gonna start offing people.
Yeah, Edie almost died, but
yeah,
it was okay in the end.
I like it being I don't need I like high stakes high risks, but I like it when the risks aren't pulled out.
Yeah, it's I don't even know. It's okay. I think it's also just a trend in publishing where we want to write stories that have stakes but no one's gonna die at the end, or we want to have stakes but it doesn't feel like it's the end of the world. Level whatever they're doing, which is not a good or bad thing. I think the world is really bad, so reading a book where everything is tense but overall everything's gonna work out can be really helpful for some people. So I don't even think that's absolutely a bad thing. I just think with the direction the editing went through in this book, I think that's could be allocated why some of the stakes weren't as stakesy, and why there were a lot of parts I think in this book where it's just don't worry about it. So
that's kind of a feel I got too, where it's just sometimes you just suspend it and move on.
Don't think about it. Which sometimes I don't like it, and sometimes I think that's totally fine. In this story, I was you know what, I'm willing to brush it under the rug for you, story, but most of the time it bothers me. Honestly.
That's fair.
Yeah. Sorry to go on a tangent.
No, I'm here for the tangent. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
I was trying to work through.
we're here because of our dichotomy of thinking about books. That's so true. I generally never thought about that with heist stuff, especially because I said I've watched so many that
and I think, to a certain degree, even Ocean's 8 anyway, Ocean's 11 I think too, they could be considered cozy in the sense that they're you watch it for fun type of movies. They what you're getting into is not that serious, but it's exciting. I don't know, the word cozy is used too much and it's lost its meaning. In my opinion.
I think you
Yeah,
just said cozy too much.
I know.
I
I meant in like the publishing sphere, but
agree.
yeah.
Because everyone's to be cozy right now, because the world's on fire. So
I
everyone's
know.
like, fuck, we have to make sure nobody's fucking crying all the time.
It's okay. I can cry all the
Good
time,
mood.
regardless of anything.
All right, well,
Joking.
you're just dedicated to the craft then.
Right, dedicated to the craft. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to think about, though.
So actually, I do have another point. I made loose notes, more like reactionary feelings.
Yeah.
And I felt when we were speaking about the messages or like what you're getting from the story, like whether you're getting the actual plot of what you're reading or you're getting the messages that they're trying to throw in at you, you know, like the fuck the capitalist society or like steal from the rich, you know, that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that in different points of this story. Now I understand you do not write a book like this overnight. You go through drafts, you go through different iterations, you write at different times, you go through different people. But I did not feel like this book was cohesive
Mm.
in the writing style or the writing feeling. Mainly, I feel like it was just when the author was writing about it, they were in different phases, or perhaps they had
Mm.
different objectives for the book at certain points of the story.
I mean, that is possible. I think, I understand what you're saying. I think that each chapter is a little episodic in nature, which can make it feel a little disjointed. I would agree with that. Because there were sometimes, like, things would happen, and you would think that, like, the next chapter would roll into, like, more of what was happening, and then it would be like, no, we're moving on to the next thing now. It would be a completely different point in time. And perhaps that was intentional. That doesn't mean it worked for you, but but it might have been intentional.
If perhaps it was presented in a like like again in like an ocean series, they have the setup, the plot. Like I understand there are different avenues. Like you know how like at the main night of the heist they have different POVs,
Yeah.
so they understand what everyone's doing and what's going on. If they presented the book in a way where they said, "Hey, like I want you to like get the you know the POV. I want you to get the you know how everything wanted to be in like different in like a like you point at the middle arrow and everyone from different directions is trying to meet the middle, and this is how you like unlock the big final piece or like a big pizzazz.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps it would have made a bit more sense to me, but it was just like, wait a minute, we're just having this like tender moment and you're just like, all right, you have a nice calm like ED, and then all of a sudden you're just like, you know, this guy's like in everyone's face being like fuck the world and fuck everything, and I'm like, look, I understand you're having a hard time here, but you were literally calm and quaint maybe like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I get
And
that.
then yeah, and then I think it was just more of like when you wanted the personalities of the characters, it became bits and pieces, and you're like, oh, what'd you say? And they're like, ah, never mind. This is just a little something this character says. You're like, no, I want more. Look, like, give me more. Like, what were you saying?
Yeah. I read another book recently that had a very similar thing where like the character was like totally normal throughout the entire chapter, but at the end of the chapter she would just get like crazy angry and be writing like it would be like a completely different writing style. It was really weird. I didn't find that to be the case that much with this book, but I was also reading it and it can be a totally different experience listening to it. So I don't know. You're valid.
No, I was just curious how you guys were I guess interacting with this book. If
Yeah.
In the same way that you pick it up and put it down in
Yeah.
bits and pieces, that if it made sense in the same way when you read other books in bits and pieces, like how did it flow compared to other books, and perhaps you guys have read more of this than I have.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't read that many heist books actually.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
When I'm not reading what you guys want me to read, I'm reading aggressive smut.
I mean, that's fine.
So anything is a good solid break. It's like drinking juice and then finally getting ice water. Where I'm like, oh, thank God, I remember I like this too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also, I'm coincidentally my friend got me Mistborn.
Oh.
By Brandon Sanderson.
So
it's another heist thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was
that
a
I'm
heist.
reading alongside, and so in my mind it was like like I understand like what's it called, comparisons like The Thief of Joy or whatever, but I'm just reading another heist book compared to another heist book, and I'm just like, well, where's the sense of dread? Where's the sense of, you know, like reality? Which is ironic.
Well, that heist book is
a tome.
Has had time to develop versus this heist book.
It's also, yeah, it's a series.
No. I understand that. I haven't even finished Mistborn, so I'm literally in like the gathering the crew together type phase, but like I have felt more side character development from Cecil, I believe. I just wanted a bit more.
Well, yeah, I think it would have been nice. Mistborn, Brandon, whatever his Sanderson, has the joy of being a very well successful author, so he can write as much as he wants and no one cares. So
yeah, I'm not saying that like this was I based this book off of that book.
Right. Yeah, they're very different books, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but I was, you know, like I said, I had to grab a little bit of here, a little bit of there, a little bit from a movie, a little bit from a story, you know, and
right.
It's just like, what?
I was actually,
like, and it was good to just be like, what is it missing? What could it use?
Yeah, it actually made me think though, because like the comp titles for this book were Gideon the Ninth and Six of Crows, which are both series, not single books. So it kind of was like maybe she planned for it to be a series, and then it's not now.
And then they were like, "Hey, how can you make this one book?" And she's like, "Fucking fine, I guess copy paste."
Yeah, like I'll just delete half my book. Like,
yeah.
I haven't read Six of Crows. I know it's a heist book, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think they were picking things to cause hype. I don't think they were picking things to be correct.
Yeah, it depends on who's doing it. Sometimes I think authors are actually picking good comp titles, and sometimes they're not. It just depends on the person doing it. I don't know what I would compare this to though. Not those two probably. Definitely not Gideon the Ninth. Angel sucks so much.
Yeah, there was like no
leverage.
Like, perhaps
yeah.
Perhaps like Edie could have been Gideon in their like abrasive mannerisms and, you know, hard taught life lessons and such, but certainly you think Angel is Harrowhark? Like, no, absolutely fucking not. You kidding me?
Harrow's a bitch, but she's
go
like...
reanimate a couple corpses, then let me know like how you actually. I don't think so.
Yeah, Harrow's a bitch.
Cold and Collective,
like, she's
perhaps
just
on.
Like,
yeah, just exactly. Just they're different. They're different, even different levels of tsundere. You know, and like one's.
Edie isn't even as fun as Gideon. Like I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Faye, I don't know if you ever get a chance to read Gideon the Ninth. You don't even have to read the whole series, because once you start getting more into it, the more confusing it gets.
That's true.
But
you only have to read
Gideon is a vibe and a half.
I do have a small brain.
Yeah, it's kind of the book where it's like just read it and you'll get it at the end. Don't worry about it. But it's hard if you like Toto couldn't get into it because she pays attention to the details too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Toto wouldn't have liked this book because of that as well.
That's true. At the same time, Toto, you didn't read the Toxic Heist Lesbians? That's out of character. But yeah.
Man, Toto was in vacay mode. Toto was like,
no, it's
Toto
totally
was like,
okay.
no school.
It's totally fine. We did change the date for Realm. It's okay.
I don't know if you guys heard Nox just make the most T-Rex noise I've ever heard in my entire life.
No, I haven't heard that.
She just, from the other end of the room, goes, "Mrrr."
My little cat made a noise like that the other day. It scared me.
She made the noise and then fled the room. She left.
Well,
Now that's the perfect crime.
she just had something to tell you.
I lied. She's behind me.
Oh.
She's sneaky.
She's the next.
So now I'm really surprised you guys didn't hear it because she was behind me.
Ran under your nose the whole time.
I didn't roll back for that. That was silly. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. I think that's it. Wait, so what are you guys doing? Oh, we've kind of reviewed the whole book. We didn't.
Casually.
I was passed out. Oh, good. It was just
Toto
okay.
needed nappies.
Everyone is a lesbian in this book. Except for, I guess, Andy. But even then, we're out. She could be bi. The jury's out. She could be bi.
Everyone is their token straight.
Yeah. It was a heist that it was like I think how I reviewed this book on Goodreads was like it was all right. I would read the next book by this author because I think they'll like improve on the craft. It was just like a couple steps too, not quite right.
Yeah.
And yeah, don't call Realm that.
I wasn't gonna call anybody out, but I'm glad that Toto said it.
Wow.
What'd you call me? Am I the token straight guy?
Yeah, dude.
Alright. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I mean,
okay.
we're competing for the same pool, but you know, we're homies like that. That's fine.
We homies like. I don't know if it's the same pool. It could be the same pool.
It's only competition if Rome has game to spit.
Uh-oh.
Talk tour.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, probably.
I meant more so.
Yeah, no, I think.
Never mind.
I think we got like.
Rome's over here like, talk to him. I'm trying to talk to you.
Baba Booey.
Oh my god.
Don't say Baba Booey to people out loud in public, please.
No, you kidding me? Come on, man. I'll just say, hey, I'd fall for you. I already fell once. That's my opening line now.
I have a concussion.
I have a concussion. And I dreamed of you. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Make it less creepy. I don't know.
Sure thing, man. He's peasy.
I don't know.
Realm is cringe and Realm is free.
I am cringe, but I am free.
It's okay. It's better to be cringe.
Yeah.
And free.
We're clearly having the most
cringe. Someone on Goodreads, I did take a gander. When I was just like, shit, I'm probably not gonna be able to finish. Someone was sincerely cringing at the fact that there was a dildo with malware scene.
There was a dildo with malware scene. What's wrong with that?
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
If I was trying to make like a... if I was trying to make like a book, I wouldn't put it in there myself, but
it was a great, like, funny way to kind of flesh out the world a little bit.
Yeah.
In like a silly way.
Like everything is a smart device now and everyone plugs it into their computer.
Because as like I won't get into it. Not my stream.
It gave like MCU humor when they like really. It's not obvious per se, but they like when the characters actually have like a small spat and you're just like they're talking like casually. You're like, what do you mean you want to do that? You know that's like impossible, right? They're like, what do you mean it's not possible? I do it like every time. Like, what do you mean? Like the banter part of it was really funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which like, and there should be banter. This is a team of fucking 8 people. If they all just get along beautifully, we're fucked. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met 8 people who can get along conformatively, consistently?
That's actually a good question. I also saw this question earlier that it was kind of confusing. Like, I think that Angel and Edie are just, like, socially cousins. They're not, like, blood related. I'm pretty sure. But it wasn't clearly defined. But I wasn't going to think about it too hard because I was like, that's weird.
I'm going to go with not thinking about that. I'm going to continue not thinking about that.
Because, like, they were, like, family friends or whatever. But I think it was just that they were family friends. I don't think it was that they were actually blood-related cousins.
I think knowing would be too much for me.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello.
Hi. I don't know.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Sorry, I didn't read the book.
That's okay. I don't even know where your Fugi is.
I'm
Fugi's
invisible.
gone. You are invisible.
I'm the
You're
one
somewhere
on
in
the
the
left
bowl.
who's not.
Put her in the bowl,
okay.
yeah.
Where are you? Oh, you are, like, you're somewhere. Your Fugi just isn't showing up. That's weird. Oh, well. I guess I'll refresh it. But hi. It's okay. The book was, like, just okay, and I think Faye was right in saying you'd have a lot of issues with it. So maybe it's okay.
Okay, I missed it. What issues would I have with it, Faye? I'm curious.
Man, where do you
Just like,
start?
okay, hold on. Don't make it sound like I was over here attacking you for the majority of the
I'm
story.
curious.
We all had
What-
issues
okay,
with
if
it.
you
It
would-
was
You were
so...
I
There
don't
were
know.
just like, you're a very detail-oriented person. And this took a lot of just hoping that you would just ignore the lack of.
Mm,
Like,
It was
I
a
could
lot
not
of,
ignore
hey,
the
I'm gonna
lack
say
of-
this. Don't question it. Don't worry, but shut up. It's happening. It's fine. And you wouldn't love that.
yeah. You're
Yeah.
right.
And with it being a heist book, it would need a lot of moving, detailed details, and you wouldn't love that you're just having to trust the process and wave a lot of things away.
It was
I
a
feel like that happens
slice
in a lot
of
of
life
heist, though.
disguised
yeah.
as a heist book.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Sorry,
so
I'm looking
episodically,
for
it makes
you.
sense that you see it and you'd be like, "Aha, okay." And then like next episode could be like anything. It just,
Huh.
but it wasn't. It had to be cohesive, and you just like, okay, and what does
Yeah.
any of that mean? Why should I care?
Yeah.
Huh, your Fugi actually doesn't work. Well, if you would like to send me your Fugi, you can. But I don't want to
No,
force
it's
you to
okay,
do
I'll just
anything.
invisible. People watching the VOD of this will be so confused.
So confused. That is fine. Yeah, I was testing the other sources, but it's just like straight up like you're invisible, invisible turtle.
It's alright.
Yeah. Also, Angel sucks. Angel was the toxic lesbian lady, and she just really sucks. She never redeems herself.
Mm.
But we're supposed to act like she redeemed herself.
She isn't the main character, though, right?
No.
No.
Okay, good.
No, Edie's fine. The main character was totally fine.
Yeah, they were cool. I didn't mind them at all.
Yeah.
She's not the fun, like, ruin me mommy type of lesbian that you like, Toto. She was just a bitch.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Not even a bitch with a backstory.
I mean, she did, but
It's not what I care about.
yeah, it was like, ooh, you did enough bad things where I don't care.
Yeah. Like, the bad you're doing now overrides anything else you've ever done.
Yeah, unfortunately. It's weird.
Toto's apologetically unforgiving, and I'm just kind of like, you did this to yourself. You suck.
She did do it to herself. But
I think what makes me the most pissed isn't when books are bad. I like bad books. They're fun to talk about.
mhm.
What I don't like is disappointing books, like books that had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this book was like partially, it was like halfway successful.
Mhm.
I don't know. But yeah, it had like too big of a cast of characters and not enough pages is what we ultimately decided, I
Yeah.
think.
I think we all agreed that we could have combined a few characters, moved some around, and then turned it into a graphic novel, and it would have just been fundamentally better.
Yeah.
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 Like, for instance, like The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich, I
Mhm.
actually dislike a lot more even than Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling, I didn't like it, but I get what it was trying to do.
Yeah.
just like I wasn't the right audience, right?
Right.
Whereas like Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich, like I felt like I was supposed to be the audience for this, but it wasn't that good.
Right.
You know?
Right. I agree. I was so sad about that one.
I know. I thought it would be a lot better. I thought
Yeah.
that the grilled cheeses would actually be a part of it since it's in the title. They would give us like more grilled cheese recipes.
I know.
But no.
But no.
Maybe we should have all come with our own grilled cheese recipe.
Ooh.
I just had grilled cheese tonight.
Ooh.
I've started adding cream cheese to my grilled cheese, and that's an interesting turn.
Ah.
It's not for the faint of lactose tolerance.
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah. That's actually fair.
I just had not grilled cheese. I had burger. Grilled burger.
Burger.
Burgers.
One brain cell.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you feel that we have adequately put
Yeah.
ourselves for a rating?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have to bring. I wonder if this image is gonna work since my OBS just isn't working properly today. Book club. Yeah. Here we go.
Overall, I rate this book a 0 out of 10.
Dang.
Hell yeah.
I didn't read it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame you, honestly.
Oh gosh. I know Ron didn't really like this book, but that's okay.
This just happens to be like one of my favorite like genres for stories or movies. So
Yeah.
I'm biased.
I get it. It was not. It didn't quite lead up to. It wasn't the heist I thought I was getting into either.
Yeah.
I get it. Oh yeah. So here's the little graphic for our star rating and our slug rating. Our star rating is our personal rating on what we read, and our slug rating is our recommendation rating on what we read. How much would we recommend this to other people?
Hell yeah.
So I've talked a lot. Who wants to go first? I mean, Toto already gave her.
Put the graphic back up.
Oh, I'll put the back. Here you go. Here's a graphic.
Yeah. We've discussed how I'm dumb, right? Perfect. Okay. So, my star rating personally, I loved it. A solid 9.
Nice.
Like, I thought it was great. It was exactly what I wanted. It was my leverage in a book. I do think it could have been better. But it was, like you said, the breakout story, and they were limited on their pages. So with what they had, it was fine, and I'm fine with that. Without fixing it, I would actually only rate it maybe a 6. Like, for Slug, for recommendations.
Yeah.
Like, I would warn you about the issues and then recommend it if you were bored or like it was a rainy day. Like, I would give you my torn up copy. I wouldn't make you buy the copy.
That's fair. Actually.
So yeah, that's for me.
Mm-hmm. I really want to know your rating, Real.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah,
I really
go for
do.
All right, you gave both, Faye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you saying you don't listen to me?
Well, I kind of space out, you know, the trauma and all that,
Damn.
all that fun
The
jazz.
head trauma. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't blame everything on head trauma.
I
I'll see how
totally
far
would
I can
milk it
take
for
this.
everything.
Oh my god, I would.
Totally can. You know, I take naps in the middle of work day because I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't look at the screen right now.
So
See you guys
sorry,
in
I
like an
have
hour.
trauma.
Yeah.
Tawama, like what do we? Yeah. So, star rating. There is a lot to say. A lot I have said, so I won't try to preach of what I've already tried to mention here. I would say, given my personal bias for what I like and what it gave me, I would say if it's this first person's book, I don't know how long they've been writing beforehand. I don't know, I probably gave it like a 4.5.
Wow.
4.5. I just
That was generous.
Yeah, it was. I
I'm
thought you were
I'm
gonna give it a
trying to-
1.
I'm trying to be generous because I wish maybe this is something we can do in the future, like actually having what we rated other books. And
Oh,
I
sure.
understand
I
what
can go
we-
through and like mark it all down.
Yeah, because I'm trying to give a scope. Because in most of the in most cases, I do a standard rating, and a couple of books
It's all subjective
manga,
anyway, though.
I have given ratings based off of something completely different from the norm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to give like a good, like systematic approach to it. But for my personal feelings, I thought it barely scraped as a good book. It had spelling,
Mm-hmm.
grammar was there, but anything more, I felt like I was just reading someone's teenage like self-insert in a sense, sort of like an AO3, like like I want to be like someone that perhaps they grew up watching some of these things and were just like, oh, well, I could see myself, my family, like doing something fun like a heist, but also like fuck this, what's it called, like fuck the capitalist society, and there was just they lost the plot. I didn't think there was much.
No, there wasn't.
And I wish there was more. I totally wish there was more. Because, like you said, you don't get a lot of Pacific Islander novels. You don't get a lot of representation for that. And I'm one for, seeing what people can do with it. I just hope they do better. I'd like to see them, like, do something else.
Mm-hmm.
So, slug rating, I would probably lend it if you, given what you've told me about how you guys enjoy books like these,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say, hey, you can go check it out, give it a quick, maybe a couple hours, rent it somewhere, borrow it. But I wouldn't tell you to buy it. I would probably just give it, probably give it like a 5 on the slug rating.
Yeah.
So it's the genre will get you there, and if you're not into the other aspects or perhaps the real applications of like what a heist movie may entail, like you don't have to have the high stakes, sort of like how Legends and Lattes was a high fantasy, low stakes type of transition into people who want to get into fantasy, that this could be the book for some people.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't actively recommend it.
Yeah, that's super fair.
That is fair. I get it. I could have made you read a much worse book. I just remembered something that was cozy sci-fi that was terrible. But
Oh, I know. I think I've gone off on a couple books before.
No, it's okay.
I personally wouldn't have finished it if I did it.
I get it.
I probably will not.
I do like
Do
that
better than me.
this book gave you enough of like an angry emotional response, since I don't think I've experienced that since you've hated Laios in Delicious Intention.
Yeah.
That guy. Seriously.
I know you hate that guy. It's so funny.
Yeah, I actually have a really long note just based off of like feelings I was getting towards like this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
How it was progressing. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
you
I
know?
mean, it, even if it's like not a great, like a positive emotional response, it still gave you an emotional response. So I guess there's something. Not that that's a great thing. If it's negative.
I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at reading it.
Yeah.
It's just.
I get it. Yeah. I guess I can give my review.
I'm mad at reading it.
Hold on. My star rating. I guess I'll just give my review. Like, this had been a really long, I picked this book because it had been a really long time since I had like really read or even seen anything that was like rooted within like Hawaiian roots. I did live in Hawaii, and I heard Pidgin a lot, and I found it quite, like, I just thought it was really a great iteration of English. I find it quite charming. Like, it's like, oh yeah, that word does work the same. Things like that. I don't know. I also am really into linguistics, I guess. I don't know. So I thought reading this book would be like a treat for me, and it's also a heist, and I really like heists. But even though this book does contain a heist, I found it to focus more. Well, it tried to focus more being a character study between Edie and Angel, and I don't think that would have been a bad thing if that was the actual focus of the book. But it wasn't. It kept going back and forth between Edie having thinking that they had tough decisions, and the heist putting the heist together. And so I found the depth of the relationship between Angel and Edie and all of the characters to be lacking. On equal fronts, I would have liked even more scenes of bonding between the found family heist members, but again, most of the scenes were just towards setting up the heist and not really interacting with the characters didn't really interact with each other. They just only interacted on like a level of like doing the thing, I guess. So I guess this book would have been a huge hit for me if it had leaned full into the character study or the heist, but it didn't, as we discussed throughout this entire stream. But I did enjoy this. I actually think for a debut novel and what you see in the debut novel universe, this is actually kind of strong. I actually think I'd give it like a 7.5, probably. Not quite an 8, because I saw the potential there. I liked that the author was leaning into her roots, and I kind of want to see a book that leans even more into it, rather than just using like Hawaiian pidgin as like a dialect, and then everything else being a weird sci-fi world that kind of didn't matter. So 7.5 for me. For my personal rating, what my slug rating is kind of like a 5. I have a couple people who I think would really like this book, but most people I'd be like, nah, you can skip it. I think that this is a great, I don't know, it's like cool because it has basically every character is gay, lesbian, trans, or gay and trans, lesbian, trans. Like that's cool. Like I like that everybody was just like LGBT friendly and the world itself was that, but I don't know. It was just everything else fell flat. So overall I think you could skip it unless you're super interested in a toxic lesbian relationship. I think that's it for me. Yeah.
I respect it. I like it. That was a good rant.
Yeah. Like, I wanted it to be more than it was. And also, Angel needed to grovel for like 50 pages straight. Maybe not 50. So yeah, that was our book club for the month. I think I actually need to take a break, at least from books. Maybe we'll do manga in July. I'm like traveling a lot, so I don't have time to do both. So we have to pick one or the other, I guess. For me personally, sorry. I'm gonna spend a lot of time out of state. It's weird. I think the next choice, I don't know. Well, we can discuss it off stream. What the next choice will be. I have a few ideas in mind, but I don't think that will be until August. Maybe we'll just take the whole month off. Thank you for being here. Thank you for reading the book, even if it wasn't your favorite realm.
Thank you for suggesting it. You always put in so much work,
for
like
reading
finding
the book.
us
Yes,
books.
you're welcome.
It doesn't matter what I'm reading. I appreciate.
I genuinely thought you would like it.
We're here
I thought
right
it would
now.
be good.
You know, like that. This by itself is a whole lot of effort. So
yeah.
Are you ever
This is-
surprised, like
this
when
is a
you give us a
testament.
book between who likes it and who hates it? Are you ever surprised by the results?
Not usually. Actually,
Okay.
I think I was really surprised that you all liked A Tainted Cup. I was like, oh, they're gonna hate it. Oh my god, I'm so worried. But you all liked it. I was like, yay!
Sounds good. Yeah.
For some reason, I thought I was so worried Toto was gonna hate it. I don't know why.
What?
It was like
I think because when Toto doesn't like something, Toto hates it,
Yeah.
and it's lovely, it's phenomenal.
That's great.
But
I am very critical.
Yeah.
but no, and that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a phenomenal trait to have. There's no
I'm-
like.
Okay, I will say, like, it's very rare for me to like hate a book. I think out of the books we read, only like 2, and that would be like Solo Leveling that
Yeah.
I talked about already. I dislike because it's just not my genre,
Mm-hmm.
and Grilled Cheese
Same.
because that one was just really disappointing. But I don't think I'm looking through the books we read. I don't think there was another one I really hated.
Yeah.
Oh, Time War wasn't good, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
It was just like
Yeah.
I felt like the parts that were
Actually, I
unnecessary.
feel like we have like the hot takes too, like not really liking it because everybody likes that book. Like it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I was
that
going.
thing is like paraded in my Barnes and Noble. It's
Yeah.
just like, bruh.
I was going through like a list of 500 people that had listed their top 10 favorite books of all time, and like I think
Really? It was
How
on
to
there?
Lose the Time War was listed like at least 100 times.
I thought Kira Nacy did the epistolary like stuff a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. That book was really well written, though. Yeah. And I think
at some point we should do each other's favorite books.
Ooh, yeah. No, yeah, I want to know. We've already read my favorite
That could
book
be
on the
fun.
channel, but...
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
We could do everybody else's favorite
Yeah.
books. That could
Yeah,
be
that
fun.
would be great, actually. I would like that.
Yeah.
That's what I've been asking this whole time.
Oh, have you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to read a book that you like. That I haven't read before. And even if I have read it, I'll read it again. It's likely I haven't, though.
I think what it is like, personally, I've felt like intimidated to suggest a book because I worry that it wouldn't just, like, you guys would look at it and be like, this isn't up to snuff for,
No, it's
like,
okay.
our initial thought process.
We've read manhwas.
Yeah, we've read
like,
manhwa.
that are.
It's like a good
They're
manhwa.
not very good.
Some of them I liked, but some of them are like, yeah, this is like not the best, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really care. I think I've gotten a bit more like strategic with my picks and what I think that like hits on like what we haven't read lately, or like what I think that you will like. I actually do try to pick things that I think that you'll like, but like we don't have to. I mean, just picking your favorite book is like that's also just like a really nice thing to do. I think to read what's your favorite. Yeah. I mean, we did read One Piece as well. I don't know if that's Toto's favorite book ever, but
One Piece. I've been thinking about it. Okay, so we've read quite a few mangas, and a lot of them are very good. Like Delicious in Dungeon,
Yeah.
Land of the Lesbian. We actually have not read that many mangas because One Piece just took so long.
yeah.
But I was thinking about it. Like Land of the Lustrous and Delicious in Dungeons are like really like fine, like tuned, like fine dining types of meals, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like they had an idea in mind and they stuck to it, and then they really like focused in on what they wanted to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then One Piece is not that. One Piece has a lot of hiccups. It has like problems, right?
That's true.
But overall, and over like the great span of thing, One Piece is like a home cooked meal. It's like you going back
Yeah.
to your hometown and eating your favorite foods again. That's what like One Piece feels like.
Yeah, I actually did because I also participated in that 500 people put your top 10 books. I did put One Piece on the list. It made number 10, but it's still like it just like emotionally means a lot to me at this point, you know?
Yeah.
So it like counts as being up there. But I get what you're saying. Like not every part of it is like a great meal. Hi, Lunar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess that's my assignment to you three in July is to let me know what your favorite book is.
Okay.
If you have one, I guess. And then we can put it on the calendar. I do have an idea for October, but otherwise I don't actually have concrete plans for the rest of the year, so. Yeah, I don't know why Toto's not working. Her food
I'm
just
invisible. I'm just in the
doesn't work.
I'm just behind Trips there in the bowl.
Yeah.
they're the coral.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was moving myself. Actually, maybe you are. I didn't think about that, actually. Are you? No.
No, I was joking.
I thought there was a possibility.
No. Don't actually check. Don't give it away.
It would be
Okay.
funny if Toto, like, if we could get like a standing figure of Toto and she's in there like a figure in the water. That would be fun.
I thought you were gonna say something else with the
No.
said that.
Oh, don't be weird. Not on Trips' stream. We can do that on my stream.
Oh my god. You could be weird. But yeah, I guess that's that. I don't have anything planned for July because I'm actually just very busy. I actually might not stream at all in July because I'm just busy, sadly. But maybe. Cowabunga! See, Bunny Trips gets Toto body pillow. Ooh. A big turtle as a body pillow would be pretty nice, actually. A big comfy turtle. Yeah, it's true. My chat is very weird. They were calling my meringue coom and it made me cry a little.
Dude, I have a friend who he and I like never speak, really. And that's our friendship. But every time I post like me making cookies or whatever, he's like, "Hey, why is it every time you do an icing for your cookies, it looks like comb? Because you don't color it." And I'm just like, because I'm trying to be more authentic with my baking.
Yeah.
Not everything needs to be Technicolor.
Yeah. You're right.
I like a good rustic cookie.